Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 5 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, August 20, or October 27th. So as we look back at Friday's session, right, we had CPI come out Friday morning at 8:30. Got that push up, and then really with the in the morning we got that little push up, but it was a very narrow range up there, just because we were already at the top of the expected move for the day. We kind of held that as support, but really didn't get anything going either way on Friday once the regular session started. So I talked about this consolidation that we had for 6 weeks, right? We had that look above on Friday. This appears to be a look above and go, right? So we can go up some more here. Remember, the going into the end of the year right now for the cash market, you're looking at 7,000 as the resistance on the top side, and that would be around 7,035 on the ES futures is where that would land. It doesn't mean we're going to go there in a beeline, right? Because that's between now and the end of the year. So we still have 8 weeks of back end filling to see if we get up in that range. And then so for today, what I'll be looking at as we get into positioning, right? Just hopefully we'll have a little bit more volatility than we had Friday, but we'll get into more of that in a second here. I have not updated the regular positioning yet, but the toss expected move, you can see we're already above that. And when we opened, basically right on the high end of the range for expectations for today's session as of Friday's close. For both the ES and the NQ, right, we've kind of, filtered up there a little bit. So we'll see if we end up back below that, anything below the overnight low later, we'll probably get a gap fill at least to Friday's high. It might not get a gap fill to the close, but it'll probably get a gap fill to the high. And then, of course, you can watch, all kinds of sequences in between to see how close we can get. But just watch the structure as we, if we go that way. Uh, Looking at the cash market closed at 67.92 on Friday. Futures are up 55, so that would put us right around 68.50 on the futures. If we were to open right now in the cash market, you can see there's room to go from 68.50 all the way to 6900 and 6950 and then to 7000. That's all on the table, but you got a lot of congestion for today's expiration between 68.70 and 68.90. I would think that would be around the top end of today's potential range. But now that we've gapped up to 68, 45, 50, right around here. Uh, I would be surprised if we don't hold 68.25 on a pullback in the cash session. So, 68.20, 68.25. Uh, any shorts going down to there, I think you need to go hands off. I wouldn't even hold runners to see if get people see those big gaps, and they either fill or they don't. But I would want to see it price confirmed below 68.20 before I chase anything farther down on the downside. Oops, let's get back into that again. And then looking at the SPY looks a little cleaner, right? It's got a lot more congestion, a lot clearer price. The SPY closed at 66.77 quarter. We're trading 682.75, so let's just call it a little over 682.50. Um, so for today, you can see we're right over here. You can see between 683 and 685, there's some price. So that'd be about 20, 22 points higher than the ES is currently trading right now. So that would put you up just right around 69.05 or so. Uh, is what you would be looking at for the 685. We'll get the measurements locked in once all the markets and all the stocks are open. Uh, but now that we've traded up here, 678 to 680 uh, is where I'd be looking for support, and I wouldn't think that you're going to be able to do anything below 677 today. And remember, we closed at 677 quarter. That would be a gap fill, getting down to this 677 because we closed at 677 quarter. And then on a a flash below, kind of a fake out shakeout, uh, I wouldn't think that you could get below 675 today. But let's see if you can get below 678 first. That's where I would go hands off, to be honest with you, on the SPY. And that would be basically around 43 points under where you're at, 46 points, uh, right around there. I don't think that you can get under that today. So that would leave you with about a 10 point positive on the ES, right? On the most substantial pullback, more than likely. So we'll see what comes into play for that. On the Qs, looking at this week and today, you're pretty much just overextended, right? They're overbought by any condition. You're at 625 right now on the futures. There's just no positioning up here for today or really this week. But if you go down to the long-term plays down here, you see there's some gamma at 625 long term, 630, 635. So I would say that you would have a hard time getting under 620 today, just because of looking at long term gamma. Uh, and again, that would be around right around 170 points lower than we're currently trading on the NQ. So you'd be looking at right around 670. 24,670 on that pullback to 620. I don't think that we're really going to do much below there unless things really fall to bed. And the structure just isn't telling you that, we're just going to have a massive reversal down at this point after that gap up Sunday. So, gap ups can either be gap ups and hold, right? So and you can see we're kind of in the Superman up on the NQ, and we're just holding the VWAP right here on this uh, ES. So we'll see, what we get. But again, we're just sitting here trading 625 on the NQ on the Qs for the NQ, and we'll see. But I wouldn't expect anything more, and I'd watch really not to be greedy. I would watch the 622 half on the pullback. So 622 half to 627 half would probably be more of the 200 point range that you're going to see between the bells today. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. We'll see what Jack's looking at later, or in a few here, and just don't get greedy. Of course, the Bulls would like to, stop everyone out that is below the overnight low and then reverse back up because, that's how they get re-energized and they get what they miss. Um, Other than that, I really don't have nothing. Remember, for the week, the big news is Wednesday we got FOMC. Thursday we have ECB. I don't think there's any major hits as far as that. If we look at earnings, we'll get into it more. I think it's Wednesday night and Thursday night we're going to have some large cap tech earnings again, but nothing today. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.